From Interior Alaska's most trusted news source, this is the Fbx Evening News.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. It's not often the National Weather Service issues a flood advisory and winter weather advisory on the same day.
That's right. The service issued a flood advisory for ice jam flooding on the Tanana River at Salcha and a winter weather advisory for snow in the Tanana Valley. The ice jam, approximately 1/2 mile downstream of the Boondocks Bar in Salcha, was backing up water and causing minor flooding on the Old Richardson Highway. The road was impassable Thursday with about 8 inches of water covering it. Water had surrounded at least one home in the area and inundated several yards.
We have an observer out on the Salcha River today, and he said most of the ice is flushed out of the Salcha River, at least the lower part of the Salcha, into the Tanana. So we're hoping that this thing breaks by tomorrow. And so we see fluctuations in the water level as new ice moves down, and then the ice shifts a little bit. The water might drop a little bit, and then it might rise a little bit.
A much publicized federal property tax dispute has ended in the auction of the Salcha residence owned by a couple serving lengthy prison terms. Lonnie Vernon is serving a 26-year prison term, and his wife Karen Vernon 12 years in jail for conspiring to kill a federal judge, an agent with the Internal Revenue Service, and amassing illegal weapons. Earlier this week, sources say the 3-acre Salcha property that had been at the heart of the dispute was auctioned off at $75,000 to an undisclosed buyer. The Vernons lost the property because they refused to pay income taxes. The couple has continued to maintain that the government does not have rights to the property. However, with Lonnie Vernon calling the government a, quote, illegal corporation.
Another property dispute is back in the news as well, with U.S. Marshals and Alaska State Troopers standing near. A high-profile federal case and subsequent home eviction case from the last decade is now in its final stages as the Internal Revenue Service seeks to auction off the home of Donald and Rita Himes. The eviction stems from 2003 and 2008 convictions and jail sentences for 78-year-old Donald Himes. In 2008, he served 5 months in jail for failing to file income tax returns and for failing to pay taxes. Himes was also ordered to repay the government restitution, which included forfeiture of his home if he didn't do so, thus prompting the eviction. Himes' wife Rita says she's speaking out on the issue for good reason.
Long road, very hard road. Not one that I know I would have taken if I'd known it, but thank God we don't know what life holds for us. But if more people would stand up, I think that would make a big difference. But we need people to be aware of what's going on because, you know, it can be you. It can be you the next time around.
Donald Himes also served a 28-month prison term after being convicted in 2003 on 45 counts of mail fraud, receiving mail under a false name and money laundering. In that case, Himes convinced the Veterans Administration that his mother was alive and eligible to receive benefit payments, which for years were being sent to him. His mother, however, had died in 1990.
Senator Lisa Murkowski recently participated in the Arctic Council ministerial meetings in Sweden with other Arctic nations in attendance. As shipping lanes widen in Arctic waters, many nations are ramping up efforts to use polar waters for tourism, shipping, and resource development. The senator is concerned the U.S. is not sufficiently investing in the Arctic. She noticed the participation of many non-Arctic nations during the conference, saying even these countries recognize the importance of the Arctic and urged her colleagues to get involved.
My urging to my colleagues is to pay attention to not only what is happening in the Arctic, but pay attention to how an increased role in the Arctic impacts you and your constituents in your state.
All right, when we come back, weather conditions again are in the news, forcing changes to tomorrow's Heart Walk.
And Michelle Hebert with this week's gardening tips. Stay with us. And welcome back. Parker Merrifield is an extraordinary young 18-year-old who has numerous accolades to his credit. He has received numerous air awards for his involvement with the Civil Air Patrol, and just recently, Congressman Don Young nominated him for entrance into the Air Force Academy. Then Parker contracted a rare form of cancer, resulting in 8 surgeries and intense chemotherapy. Doctors feel confident they have eliminated the cancer, but now the medical expenses are overwhelming his family.
Friends of the Civil Air Patrol and friends of young Parker Merrifield are going to have a fundraiser for his family this weekend. It's a barbecue at the Curling Center down near the Carlson Center. It'll be a good cause, and we'll have a lot of fun, and it'll be for a great cause.
Unfortunately, the United States Air Force Academy has rescinded their invitation to Parker for this year.
Even though the weather may not be the most comfortable tomorrow, more than 1,000 Hardy Souls will gather at Memorial Park downtown to walk a mile. The gathering will be in support of the American Heart Association and their annual Heart Walk. For the past few months, hundreds of volunteers have been doing all they can to generate donations for the upcoming Heart Walk. Yesterday, representatives from the American Heart Association were totaling up this year's proceeds, and with more donations still to come, the association had surpassed their goal of $225,000.
So the fun and festivities start at 9 o'clock in the morning. We've got all kinds of different booths and things that they can check out. We'll have some heart-healthy breakfast, and we've got coffee. We've got a lot of opportunity for folks to learn about the American Heart Association and what the Heart Association does, where their donations go to. And then the Heart Walk itself will kick off at 10 a.m.
One additional note, the walk has been reduced to 1 mile only due to the weather. This will give more time to hand out awards afterwards.
With the season change, many of us clear out our closets and garage of items we no longer need, but someone else might. UAF Summer Sessions is hosting their annual Really Free Market this Saturday from 10 a.m. to noon in the parking lot of the Lola Tilly Commons. The market is a venue for those wishing to get rid of or people who need items, ranging from clothing to small appliances, bikes to electronics, all for free. Those wishing to drop items can do so beginning at 8 a.m. and regardless of the weather, the event will go on as usual.
It's still going to be outside. We had a meeting this morning to kind of discuss how we might want to handle it, and we decided that rain or shine, snow, we will go forward with the Really Free Market. I think it's the whole idea of sustainability and recycling. I think that's important to the community, so folks come out.
Tomorrow at the University of Alaska Museum of the North, there will be an exhibit opening to the public all about the tallest mountain in North America. The name of the exhibit is Denali Legacy 100 Years on the Mountain, and it will use the journals of the 4 climbers who ascended the Mount Peak on June 7, 1913. The exhibit will feature artifacts found on that climb, including all 4 of the original journals together for the first time since the climb.
We came to the realization that this is the first time they've been together for 100 years. And so just that feeling that, finally this story is being told from these men's vantage point, that these things are coming back together to Alaska.
Even though it has been cooler than normal, it is time to begin thinking about our lawns. Tonight's garden tip will help you as you prepare your own lawn.
I'm Michelle Hebert from the University of Alaska Fairbanks, bringing you your weekly garden tips along with Mike Schultz. Welcome to this year's season. I'm going to talk about lawn care today, and you want to start by making sure you have a good surface that the water and nutrients can move through. You can do this by aerating your lawn with a commercial aerator, which can be rented from one of the local companies. It will take plugs out, and this allows fertilizer and water to move through to the soil. Next, you want to fertilize and water. I'm the sustainability director from the University of Alaska, so I promote organic products, and I'm using a general organic fertilizer on my lawn today. You can apply this about the same rate you do a regular chemical fertilizer. Once that lawn fertilizer's down, you want to water it in, put the sprinkler on, till you have about 1 inch of water. And if you don't have a gauge to tell you when 1 inch of water is, just put an empty tuna fish can out and wait till it's filled up. That'll be 1 inch of water. Now you're ready to just watch that lawn grow. To help control weeds, make sure you fertilize it at least once a month and water it once a week with 1 inch of water. Mulch mow whenever possible. Well, this has been Michelle Hebert from the University of Alaska with your weekly garden tip. Please join us next week when we'll be moving into the garden to plant those vegetables and flowers.
Gardening tips brought to you by Fairbanks Stump Grinders.
I don't know. Will we be able to see our lawns and gardens after tonight?
I don't know. That's a good question after tonight. But you know what's even more crazy?
What?
The state track tournaments are taking place right here in Fairbanks. Today was day 1. Joe Cook has highlights from day 1 of the Ossoff First National Bank Track and Field State Championships.
In the snow.
In the snow at Lathrop High School. Some big outcomes, actually, from the spring games. That and more with Joe coming up.
Hello, Interior Sports fans. Joe Cook back in the sports seat for you. A jam-packed Friday, so let's get to it. Today was day one of the ASAA First National Bank Alaska Track and Field State Championships at Lathrop High School. Can you believe that it was snowing today, and yet the athletes, they were determined to perform at the state meet, so to Lathrop we go. For Monroe, Michaela Fifield in 14 feet and 11.5 inches places fourth in a 1-2-3A long jump. But Marley Cunningham was the 1-2-3A long jump champion, 15 feet 3.25 inches.
Feels pretty good. I'm pretty happy about it. I'm really proud of my coach for coaching me through all these years. So he put me in as a sophomore jumping, and I did pretty good my sophomore year, but this year has been the best so far.
ACS's Augustus Simmers won the 3A high jump, and he will also win the long jump. Allison's Tony Griffin was second in the long jump with 19 feet 5 inches. The upset of the day was Connor Looney of Palmer, clearing 6 feet 1 inches, a new personal record, dethroning defending champion Tevin Gladden of Lathrop, who struggled in these weather conditions, and it was Looney's 18th birthday.
It's a great feeling. It's my birthday today too, so it's a birthday present. Yeah, I was just confident, just wanted to go, get it out the way, and go through strong. I was just focusing, I had the adrenaline and just went up, followed through, kicked my feet.
West Valley's Megan Drange is the 4A high jump state champion, clearing 5 feet 1 inch in her final jump. In the 4A 3,200 meters, Audrey Michelson of Colony wins in just under 11 minutes. West Valley's Dorothy O'Donnell placed 10th. In the boys 3,200 meters, Kodiak goes 1-2-3 for the first time in school history, led by Levi Tomet's 9-minute 27-second time. Miko Siri of West Valley was 9th.
It feels really, really good. That's been a goal since the beginning of the season, so it's great to finally have achieved that.
And those are the highlights from day one of the ASAA First National Bank Alaska State Track and Field Championships. For a link to the full results, just go to Webcenter11.com. And great high school sports action in the interior last night. And first, we go out to Newby Field. The North Pole and West Valley boys soccer teams battled for the #1 seed. This was a physical and emotional game, and it was senior night for both squads. West Valley lost Brandon DeWeese and Christian Keeter to injuries. Josh Million is still out for North Pole, and Rafael Martinez, he was yellow carded twice and was ejected. But North Pole had Brady Crane, who hasn't allowed a goal all season. Crane got lucky as well, with West Valley missing several shots. Crane even made the assist to Anthony Gordon, who would score the game winner. North Pole wins 1-0 and gets the MAC #1 seed.
It's hard. They put a lot of pressure. They didn't take as many shots as I thought they would, but for the most part, they had a lot of pressure on us. We just held our ground. We had a lot of help. Everybody was on their game. I mean, at first it was bad, but we picked it up a lot in the second half. We really did.
And the Wolfpack and Patriot girls teams were in a playmaking battle. West Valley's Audrey Wade put the Wolfpack up 1-0. This goal goes over the head of goalie Alicia Clark. But Clark bounced back with 20 saves for North Pole. In the second half, North Pole's Janelle Pasco got a goal through the melee to tie the game. But later, Sarah Walling Ball with a gorgeous pass to Madison Atkins, who would boot in the game winner. 2-1, West Valley wins, getting the 2 seed in the MAC tournament. These teams will face off again in the tourney on Saturday.
Well, it was both senior nights for both teams, so there was high emotions, but I think we ended up playing them anyways, but we really wanted to win. I think it's great to add confidence to our team because we've had a rough couple games, but I really hope it boosts morale going into the tournament.
And back in Fairbanks, as those games were in North Pole, more fantastic games. The West Valley Wolfpack took the Malamutes to the brink, but Lathrop wins 1-0 in softball. Selena Maxwell hit a clutch RBI in the top of the 6th for the lone score. Casey Duffield had 7 strikeouts and fanned the side in the bottom of the 6th to end it. Lathrop is 6-0 in the Rail Belt Conference and 11-0 overall. The Patriots got a statement win with a 14-3 win over the Aurora Conference leader Allison Norton and Abby West hit the ball well. North Pole improves to 5-5 with the win. And that'll do it for sports this evening. Be sure to come back tonight for a special sports nightcap. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back into Fairbanks Evening News for a Friday. Mike Schultz with you once again for a look at weather. I only have good things to say now tonight because we're looking at snow getting out of here by at least Sunday, and then temperatures into the 60s by next week. That's good news. Our photograph tonight, as you can see here, Bill and Jane St. George live in Nenana, and they were able to capture some swans flying in a kind of formation. Again, if you have a photograph to share, by all means, send it to Mike Schultz at KTVF11.com. Here's what's going on at the airport right now. 34 degrees after a high of 40. It's still a little bit of light snow here and there. The winds, well, they're about south at 17 miles per hour. And our record high was 82 in 1993, record low 22 in 1937. Here's our latest radar as we zoom in on the area. And you can see we're looking at not a whole lot going on. Looks like the radar might be down. But I will tell you right now, we have scattered showers around mainly to the east is where all the energy is being focused. On our satellite picture, here's what it looks like. And you can see again, we have lots of moisture and clouds across the interior and more out to the west. And it's all moving slowly from the southwest direction. So we still have a little more to come through our area, but the worst looks like it might be over by now. Elsewhere across the state, looking at rain around Juneau, rain and snow around the Anchorage Bowl area also. They're looking at really sloppy weather there. Up in the North Slope, some snow at Barrow, and Fort Yukon, cloudy skies and 52. Lower 48 weather, not too bad today. Things have calmed down considerably what was happening earlier this week. Still some rain across the Pacific Northwest. Temperatures have cooled down a little bit around Salt Lake City, but warming back up around Denver area. On our latest satellite, again, you can see we're looking at some areas of showers and thunderstorms you would expect this time of year. A little more energy moving across the northern Rockies, but all in all, nothing really strong or severe expected. And once again, the jet stream will remain way to the north, which means it's allowing a lot of warm air to come up along with humidity across the Gulf of Mexico. Lower 48 weather out of the way, let's talk about Alaska weather right now. In the northern sections tomorrow, cloudy skies for Barrow, mostly cloudy in Nome, and a winter weather advisory in effect for Fort Yukon, maybe 2 to 3 inches of snow expected there. Here in the interior, we're going to wind things down a little bit, rain and snow at Fairbanks tomorrow, but heavy snow will continue in the Healy and Denali Park areas, probably ending by Sunday, the way it looks right now. Over southeast Alaska, rain likely once again in Juneau with a chance of rain for Ketchikan. Out to the southwest, it looks like cloudy skies at Cold Bay and Bethel. Mostly sunny skies, though, in Kodiak. And over the south central regions, again, we're looking at 2 inches of snow in the Anchorage area, rain and snow at Valdez, and cloudy skies in Homer, so pretty sloppy weather down there. Okay, once again, it's time for our pollen count from the folks at the Tanana Valley Clinic. Things have slowed down once again because of the cooler temperatures and the rain. As you can see, once again, not too bad. Levels are right around they should be. This low levels, we like seeing that. And our forecast for tonight, periods of snow heavier above the 1,500-foot level. 2 to 3 inches expected there. 24 degrees, the overnight low. Tomorrow's forecast, 34 degrees, pretty chilly. But snow should be tapering off by the afternoon hours. And the extended forecast, this is why I'm excited. As you can see, by Monday, it looks at 50 degrees, 60 degrees on Tuesday, and then warming back up again even more above normal to the 66-degree mark. That'll be coming our way by Thursday. Overnight lows also, once again, looking around the low to mid-30s each night. And the precipitation will be ending on Sunday.
Okay, well,
that looks a little more encouraging, doesn't it?
Sure does.
We've seen that before, I know.
All right.
That's what I'm thinking.
Remember, KTVF and Bailey's Furniture are teaming up for a Spring Dream giveaway where you can win a $2,500 furniture package from Bailey's.
Tune into our newscast each night for the first half of A Mystery Word, then visit Bailey's Furniture for the second half and complete your entry for your chance to win.
And that will wrap up this edition of the Fairbanks Evening News. As always, we are glad you could join us.
KTPF is offering our Broadcast Academy once again for students aged 12 to 17.
Now, for more information, you can contact our main office at 458-1801.
And we're going to leave you tonight with graduation scenes from last night's Hutchison High School graduation celebration where 2 of our own took the walk. So from all of us here at the News Center, we hope you have a great night.
And a good weekend.
Making mistakes.